Phil Lucas here at Team Fish Fighter Studios. Gonna do a bait video on how I make my chow. It'll be like a two-part video. We'll make the chow and I'm going to show you how it sets up. Once it sets up, we'll come back and show you exactly what I do to it right before I get to fish with it. So first of all, I use 7 cups of Purina Aquamax 200. Seven. It's not like rocket science or nothing. I usually just flatten it out in there. Then I go to the egg whites. This is the kind I like to use. It really doesn't matter what brand or whatever, it's just egg whites. So we put 7 cups of chow in this bucket. There was nothing, I guess I should have showed them the empty bucket, but there's nothing else in the bucket. And then I'm going to put 1 cup of egg whites. Now, the different types, the temperatures of weather, sometimes I'll back this 1 cup off when it gets hot, because chow or Purina Aquamax, when it gets hot, it tends to not want to break down. So I'll just back the egg white off to about 3/4 when I first make it. And like I say, you got to watch it when it gets hot. When it's cold, it's really not a big deal. So 7 cups of Purina Aquamax 200. I did a cup of egg whites, and I'm going to do 7 caps of 1-on Concord Extreme. This goes in my chow every time I make it. So then I just mix it. It's very simple, basic. I've told a lot of people this recipe. This is exactly how I make it.
Now, do you make your chow like this for every tournament? Is that how you make your chow?
Very seldom do I vary away from Concord Extreme.
Yeah.
Very seldom. Every once in a while, different lakes, I might throw something different, but most of the time it's always Concord Extreme.
So
Like probably 99% of the time. Actually, like Law Dog's Buffalo Grape from 1-on is another one of my favorites for chow, but most of the time anymore I'm just throwing Concord Extreme. But this is another good one for chow baits.
So you use that same flavor every time. So this is how you make your chow every tournament, no matter what, whether you're fun fishing or tournament style.
Yeah, Wednesday nights, Sundays, whatever day we're fishing. This same bucket for me and my wife every Sunday. Have the exact same bucket, exact same flavors. Right now, it's really grainy right now. You couldn't pack it right now. Well, it does just a little bit, but so we'll let this set up. Takes about, it just depends, but a lot of times I wait at least a half an hour. But we'll come back and alright guys, we started this video earlier on making chow, Purina Aquamax. So after I make it, usually when I get up in the morning, before I go to the tournament, I'll do the mix like we did earlier. When I get to the lake, half an hour, hour drive, whatever, this is what it looks like right here. This is all one clump right now. Can you see it? Yeah. This is what it should look like after it's set that was all one piece in the bucket.
Wow.
That's what it's like every time. If it come out different than that, you didn't make it the way I told you. Because this is the way. Then I take it and I crumble it all right back up.
So now that you've done that and you're unclumping it up, so is it ready to go right now?
So this bucket here, we made this one probably an hour and a half ago. And usually even a half an hour or whatever. It's going to be hard like that. Right now you can't pack it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pack.
Okay. But so here's what I do all day on tournaments and stuff is I've crumbled it all back into little tiny pieces like it started. And I just barely sprinkle egg whites on it. And you'll see me doing this at tournaments all the time.
Especially if it's hot out that day and your cow keeps, you know.
Well, when it's hot outside, the less you put liquid you put in it. And you got to keep it out of the sunlight too. When it's hot, keep it out of the direct sun, or you're just going to be fishing with chow dough balls. I've done it. Okay, so you seen that little bit I just put in there?
Wow.
Little tiny bit of egg white. And I can throw this ball, it won't come off. It could, I guess it depends on your grip.
Yeah. Or how you
and you can put a little tiny bit more egg white in there too. It's going to be to your feel, but I didn't put a whole lot. I just sprinkled some on there, and depending on how quick the fish hit it, it could, you know, you can look in that bucket right now. It's still real loose, but say 10 minutes later I go to put another ball on, I'm going to sprinkle a tiny bit more egg white on it. You can drop it in there and try it.
So after you making that or whatnot,
Yep.
I mean, obviously I'm sitting here feeling the texture.
Yep.
What do you like your break time to be? Like with us being tournament fishermen and fishing tournaments a lot, you know.
I want to think that it's going to hold together for at least a minute.
Yeah.
I'd like it to hold, because some of the lakes, you know, the deeper lakes, I want it to get to the bottom.
Correct.
Yeah, you don't want it breaking real fast where it's breaking on its way down.
Okay.
You want it to get to the bottom, and then, to me, I want it to, it makes sense.
So we're gonna drop this in here and we're gonna see what this break time. And as you can see, this chow is not floating.
And that's what you want is bubbles.
Yeah,
bubbles are breaking.
When them bubbles start getting in there, that means it's pulling moisture into the middle of the ball to where it's really dry.
To be honest, I've never timed it or whatever, but if it's bubbling,
If
it's
it's
breaking.
if it's bubbling, it's gonna break pretty fast.
I wouldn't complain about that right there. Even if it takes it 2 minutes or whatever to
Yeah.
break, I'm not complaining about it.
And right now, your normal break time
It's
is
swelling
gonna-
up right now.
Yeah.
Your
So-
normal break time is going to be a little bit longer right now because the water is cold.
Yeah.
When the water's cold, you know, your bait will tend to lock, I'm not going to say
Yeah.
lock up, but it will definitely slow the breakdown.
It's breaking down real good now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
as you can see, that's already breaking down
Yeah,
pretty
it's
nice.
already, that ball's swelled up in size too.
Yeah,
It's getting ready to just blow
Almost
apart.
within under a minute still.
Yeah.
And that's what we want as
Yeah.
fishermen, and that's what we look for
Like I say, I just want it to get to the bottom before it starts.
before it
I-
even thinks about starting
Yeah.
to break.
Yeah. There went a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
And as you guys can
But now
see,
you can put, like when we just cracked this bucket open, after it had set and it was all one piece. Yeah, it's gone now.
it definitely just
It just blew apart. You can put too much egg white in it too. You could actually go back and put flavor on if you wanted, but I never do. Them 7 caps of flavor that we put in from the get-go, that's all the flavor I ever put in my chow. But now I'll constantly, as I'm rebaiting all day long, I mean, little tiny bits, like just enough to,
Sprinkle.
not hardly none at all.
A little bit goes a long way.
All through the day I'll be doing that.
That way because if you put a bunch in there right now, then you might have to wait for it to dry up a little bit
Exactly.
before you can even throw it or it'll lock up on you. And as you guys can see in this video too, if James will come back over here to the bowl where the chow is, as you can see, like he only put 7 caps of flavor in there. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people with the Pele.
Yeah, some of the guys, when their bait breaks down, there'll be a big purple.
Yeah, like they got a lot of drainage off that, you know.
I've been pretty successful with this recipe like this. It works. So I'm not changing it. It works.
I mean,
Yeah, that
you've
one's
definitely
coming apart,
proven it
too.
works. I think a lot of people out there are going to appreciate this video. But I'm going to jump back over here and let you guys do your...
I think that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Subscribe to the Team Fish Fighters YouTube channel. Shout out to Joe and Mindy Lutz for the one-on flavors. Like I said earlier, well, maybe we didn't in the bait video, but we just did a podcast. I'm the local distributor for One On and R&W. If you need anything you can't find at the local lakes or bait shops, reach out to me. I probably have it. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions or add your own little touch to these baits. These baits work. They've proven themselves time and time again. That's it. Have a good one.